What is going on, Draconians? Draco Invictus here with my candid reviews of Marvel Studios' Captain Marvel. So sit back and relax, and over the next few minutes, I'm going to go over my initial thoughts. I just left the theater a couple minutes ago, driving home, set up my camera in the car, and I'm just recording. And so you guys are going to see lens flares, and you're going to have washouts and all that stuff. And I'm making this as candid as possible. So I'm going to avoid spoilers at all costs, because I want each of you to make up your own mind. You know, and I will say that okay, I wasn't originally going to go see this film. After hearing everyone else talking about it, I was not going to go see this film. And I thought, no, that does a disservice, and I need to go see it. So we're going to talk about the pros, we're going to talk about the cons, we're going to talk about the waste, and we're going to talk about post-credit scenes, and just what I thought about the film. And of course, you guys are more than free to agree with me, disagree with me, and I know that I will hear from all of you and your thoughts down in the comment section below. So here's my overall thought. The movie was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't even in my top 10 Marvel films. Yeah, maybe top 15. So, yeah. It wasn't great, but it was okay. It was okay. It surprised me in the fact that it wasn't what I had heard that it was. So, in that regard, I'm glad. So let's get to the cons. Let's talk about the cons first, and the biggest one. And this could go one of two ways, and I'm sure you guys all have your ideas to which way it's going to go, but I'm just going to throw it out there. Brie Larson, who plays Captain Marvel, or Vers, as she's known in Kree. I don't know if it was Brie Larson, though. That's the problem that I'm having. Because if that was Brie Larson, then the director failed. If it's the fault of the director, then the director failed. So, because Captain Marvel and all of her various personas throughout the film just felt flat. And like I said, I don't know if it's Brie Larson. I'm hoping that we see some decent footage of her in Endgame. She's going to have it. The Russo brothers, are going to be directing her in Endgame. So hopefully, we'll know. We'll know whether it's just her and they're squeezing the best that they can out of her, or whether it was just really off directing for this film. So I apologize for the stop and go if you guys see any lens flares, solar shit, or anything like that. I am driving, and like I said, candid, unfiltered kind of a thing. So my biggest con was Brie Larson, and again, I don't know whether to pin that on her or on the direction, or just, I don't know. It could be the freaking editor. He just picked the wrong scenes, the wrong cuts. So she was the biggest one. Another con for me is kind of the direction in general. I don't feel that we got the best out of Samuel L. Jackson. He's had much better runs at Nick Fury than what we saw in this film. He wasn't horrible, but he wasn't... And again, maybe it was because they were trying to portray a younger Nick Fury, a 90s Nick Fury who hadn't gone through all the stuff that we've seen, with, the Iron Man and all that stuff. So we're used to a more hardened Nick Fury, and maybe they were trying to go with someone not as hard, and maybe I just misread it. But if that's what they were going for, they didn't let us know enough that that's what they were going for. So, again, I still got to fault them a little bit on that. I will say that the reason why Nick Fury lost his eye, I'm so disappointed in that. I am so disappointed that, and again, I'm not going to tell you what it was. You got to see it for yourself. They could have done a much better job with explaining how Nick lost his eye. So, and then this will also be covered in the waste section. And I'm going to talk about Annette Bening. I think that having Annette Bening in this film was a complete waste. I'm assuming that she's still considered A-list and pulls, a much larger check than other actors, younger actors would. And it wasn't needed. In my opinion, the character that she played, I totally understand being in the film. But it didn't need to be Annette Bening. There was no reason to have a star in that role. It could have been anyone that obviously had, any actor, decent actor, could have played that and pulled that off. There was no reason to have so many big names. Now, Jude Law, great. Did a wonderful job. Really enjoyed his performance. But, again, I'm going to keep harping on the actors because some of the scenes that he was in felt a little rushed or like they were moving the story along. Maybe it was just the script in general. But I think that they could have gone a little bit deeper with some of the stuff, especially with Jude Law, because he is such a talent. And they should have really utilized him more. It was great to see Greg Clark, Coulson. I love seeing Coulson in all the Avengers films and in Iron Man and stuff like that. He's become a mainstay, and he is absolutely a crowd favorite. And he was a much younger version of himself, and they kind of played that out, that he was new to S.H.I.E.L.D. And so what they did with him what they didn't do with Nick Fury, and explain why he's slightly different, not as hard-edged, as the Coulson that we know and love. So, let's talk about some of the pros. The big pro for me. Now, Maria Rambeau is not a co-pilot, but she was another pilot, a test pilot with Carol Danvers, when she was in the Air Force, and we've seen her in the trailers, and she did a wonderful job. But what I really want to talk as a pro is the young actress that plays her daughter. She was an absolute highlight and a gem. She wasn't too... She fit in with the film, and it was great to see her on screen. So she did a wonderful job. God, I can't remember his name, but he plays he's the S.H.I.E.L.D. director / Skrull, and he's been in Star Wars films and stuff like that. He was wonderful. It didn't matter which role he was playing, whether he was playing the S.H.I.E.L.D. director or whether he was playing the Skrull commander guy. He was absolutely awesome on screen. And I was looking forward to getting more of his story, and he delivered it really, really well. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, you didn't have to worry too much about continuity because this is her origin story. So they didn't have to worry about, has this happened, has that happened. There was a lot of time between, Captain America, First Avenger, and Iron Man. I mean, they had a lot of room to play with there. So, in that, they didn't really screw up the continuity. Now, I will say this. What was I going to say? Oh, I've heard rumor that Disney is pressuring Marvel to get rid of Captain Marvel. And let's Let's see if I can eliminate some of that. No, maybe my hand. Oh, there we go. All right, I'll just sit here with my hand. Oh, there it is. All right, so you guys can see me a little bit better. From the massive amounts of negative feedback that they've received from reviewers and stuff like that on this film, there is rumor that they may be axing Captain Marvel to the point that they were so worried that this film wasn't going to fly that they actually filmed multiple versions of scenes in Avengers Endgame to either beef up her part in Endgame or diminish her part in Endgame. So, and again, I don't know if any of that's actually true or not, but it's going to be very interesting to see what version of Endgame, how much Captain Marvel is actually in Endgame. And maybe we'll never know, but it will always be a question in my mind. Is this the film that we see? Is it the film that they wanted to show us, or is it the film that they had to show us because Disney made them go in a different direction? So, it is what it is. At the end of the day, beyond where Brie Larson herself stands in the Twitterverse and political spectrum and all of those things, I'm trying to block out the sun for you guys. I didn't get her apparent animosity that she's aired on Twitter and stuff like that. I didn't see that. I enjoyed the film. It wasn't like I said, it's not the best Marvel film. It's not even in my top 10. It may be around 15 or so out of the 20, 21 films that they've done so far. So it's definitely not high on my list. But if you are a fan of Marvel films, go see it. I paid $7 to see it, and it was well worth my $7. So, and I was in a very, very nice theater with leather recliners that are all power, and they got trays. Dude, that theater is legit. I'll definitely be going back there. But yeah, I mean, if you're a Marvel fan and you want to make sure that you keep your continuity up when Endgame hits next month? May. Or is it? Shit, I don't know. When Endgame hits, which is very soon, go see this film. If you're not too worried about continuity, it's up to you, really. Would I go see it again? No. I think seeing it that one time was enough for me. Yeah, so that's where we're going to end this 14-minute video almost. So I want to thank you guys, and let me know down in the comment section below. Have you seen the film? Are you interested at all in seeing the film? Do you have differing opinions? Do you think that it was just the best that they could get out of Brie Larson and that's what we got in the film? Or was it just maybe poor directing decisions? You guys let me know all that stuff down in the comment section below. I mean, hell, you may have loved the movie. You may have absolutely hated the movie. Again, let me know down below. And until next time, I hope you guys are enjoying this. And let me know if you want to see more of this. Candid reviews in my car side chat. You can ride along with me as I talk about the film like you and I had gone to see it together, except I'm avoiding all spoilers when I'm talking about it. I'm not going to, oh, can you believe that? No, won't be doing any of that. Spoiler free. So, until next time, Draconians, you take care of yourselves out there. This is Draco Invictus saying this has been the greatest day of my life. See ya.